Greetings to you, you Ty. I know my neighborhood is wondering what's going on these days. What is going on? Somebody's screaming you Ty out here. What is that? I know the dogs are wondering, you Ty. So, thank you for joining. Thank you for being here, Kathy. Thank you for joining. Hashtag live if you are live. Hashtag replay if you're catching this on the replay. I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate you for being you. But today we're going to get a little vulnerable today. Ro Ramos, thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. My name is Jerome Shaw, creator of the Open Palm Podcast, marketing motivator and meditator here on the 30 Days of Awesomeness. 30 Days of Awesomeness Challenge created by Jay Chantalangsi and hashtag hit the button. I just had to press record and come to you with this message because it is it's an impactful one in my life. Thank you for joining. So thank you for sharing this moment with me as I vent out this vulnerability here and really just get this out because this challenge is taking me places that I didn't know I was going to go. And today is one of those times. So we are on day 8. We are in chapter 8 of our story. And as we turn the page, chapter 8 of our vulnerability portion of the book here. Today we're talking about lust for life. I've been titling this episode Lust for Life. Now this is something that I have not shared. Very few know this. Even if you know me, you might not know this. So this information here is just sensitive, but I'm at a place now in my life and in my mind where I can share this. So I feel blessed to be able to do so. And anyone that I can touch with this, I'm grateful. So just thank you once again for being here. Now, I have not mentioned this in over 200 episodes on my podcast, and I have not mentioned this once. I've never shared it. And I looked up the word lust, right? Lust is defined as a very strong sexual desire or a psychological force producing intense wanting or longing for an object or circumstance fulfilling that emotion. Lust can take on any form, such as lust for sexuality, lust for love, lust for money, lust for power, even lust for food, what we are consuming. So it's a very strong desire. I think back in my life and I remember being in my teens and my adolescence, either 14 or 15, and I remember that I saw something on the internet that at the time I was so young, I didn't know what I was actually seeing. I was like, what? And I don't really remember exactly the emotion that I had, but I just remember being struck. I remember not really understanding what I was looking at. And it was simply a picture of a naked woman on the internet, right? Just exploring, and I just must have come across this picture. And even at that moment of just looking at this picture, I didn't know that this was a porn star. You know, it might not have even started on the internet. It might have been a magazine or something. Some clip that I took out. No, I definitely printed it off. Yeah, so it was on the internet. So I found it on the internet. I printed it out, and I even took it to church. I remember taking this picture to church, folded up, crumpled up, in my pocket, folded up, because I wanted to show one of my best friends what I had seen in this picture of this naked lady, this, in the industry of pornography. And so I took it to show my friend, and I opened it up hey man, have you ever seen anything like this? What is this? And I don't think I asked him that in so many words, but I just wondered his reaction. What would his reaction be? Because my reaction was different. It was like I was just overtaken with, these emotions. And I think he looked at it and it was just like, what do you want me to say type thing. But after that, there were 10 years. 10 long years, at least 10 years of pornography addiction. And so I spent a good portion of my life enveloped in this thing, online. And I want to preface this really by saying that there's no judgment from me to anyone who views pornography, enjoys pornography, watches it, right? It's no judgment here, because this is just, I'm speaking my truth. This is just my experience. And just like video games, it was just another trap, right? It kept me in a box, and I allowed it to keep me in that box because there were certain triggers that would happen to me, that would overtake me, and I became so invested in this world of pornography online that a lot of things were destroyed because of it. Relationships, friendships. My time was taken from me. My energy was put into this. I spent just an inordinate amount of time consuming this content and viewing women in this way that I don't believe that is right. It's just me believing that. But definitely did not do well for my respect for other women and my respect when it came to just being here on this planet. The big picture, right? It was so small. Something so small that I allowed to be so big, right? So there were times when I was so deep in this world that I was always thinking about it. I was always heading back to it. I would find ways to escape my reality and go back to it. To give my time, my energy to people who didn't even know my name, who didn't know I existed, right? These women that I was fantasizing about. Just, why? But as I reflect back on it and I realize all the time that I wasted behind closed doors, thinking that things would never come out to see the light of day, right? They say what's done in the darkness will always come to the light. It's right. They're right. So, all this time that I was investing, I knew that I had to make a change because damage had already been done. And it's really just this year, this year really that I can confidently say that I have escaped, that I have come away from this addiction. So that's not saying that those neural pathways that were connected, it's not to say that they aren't still there, because it's just like when you're on Facebook and you log off Facebook or Instagram, if you're hooked to that social media, in that window, in that small window that you could go and do something else, sometimes when you're not paying attention, when you don't have the right awareness, you find yourself logged right back into the device. I found myself right back on Instagram or right back on Facebook when I just logged out. I just logged out. How am I back here, right? How did I get here again? And that's how I felt over and over and over and over again. Why am I back where I was going away from? Thank you for joining, Monique. So I knew that I had to make a change. I knew that I could not trust myself, and logging off an app, I was just going right back in. I knew that I wasn't in control. So I allowed this to shape the way my mind works around women, the neural pathways that are just today, are just beginning to like come undone in my mind. The neural pathways, they say that, neurons that wire together, fire together. Or no, it's the other way around, right? The ones that fire together, wire together, right? So they're just becoming undone. And one moment. Close it. Close. All right. Thank you for being patient. Thank you for your patience. So, yes, where was I? So, hope you fast forwarded through that. Now that these neural pathways are just coming undone, I can start to see things that I didn't see before. And I'm so thankful for the opportunity to once again be a part of this group, because this is allowing me to get these things out and to tell you that, if you've ever struggled with addiction, if you've ever struggled with lust, if you've ever struggled with anything that you knew was pulling you in a direction that you did not want to go in, but you felt hopelessly out of control and helpless to the force that was pulling you in that direction, that you just surrendered to this force and just gave yourself away in more ways than one, right? Then I empathize with you, because I've felt that and I've been there. And I want to let you know that not only are you not alone, but it's not the end. It's not over. Hey, Rike, thank you for joining. So, it's not the end, it's not over. And you can connect new neural pathways, right? You can make brand new connections in your mind. You can escape that. You can escape your escape, What had become my escape is like Ron Carter told me on one of his podcast episodes. What had become my escape, I eventually wanted to escape from. There will come a time that you will want to escape your escape. That you will want to experience all this world has to offer, and you will feel like the things that you escape to aren't, they aren't worth it. At least that's what happened for me. So, I'm just letting you know that, we as humans, sometimes we get things wrong, We are not infallible. We are fallible. That is one of the beautiful things actually about being a human being, is that we get things wrong. We're not right about everything. And so I had to admit to myself that, my life was just not becoming what I wanted it to be. So now, to flip that on a positive note, now I have figured out ways to transmute that energy. It's even funny because I go on YouTube and I see that other people with addictions like this, they've hashtagged it, right? They've called it a no-fap journey. With, these chronic things that we do and just watching and viewing the content, they call it no-fap. And they champion others on this cause to stop, just the act of, just the constant, over and over. So I'm sure you can just tell how sensitive this is and how, comfortable I'm starting to get about even talking about it, even voicing it. So now I transmute that sexual energy. I've figured out ways now to take that energy that I was investing, that I was giving away to these women that didn't even know my name, that couldn't care less about me. Instead of giving my energy away, now I am able to give it to you. I'm able to give it to the world. I'm able to express it. I'm able to embrace my creativity, my creative powers as a creator on this planet. I'm able to transmute that energy and take it into this. And I am so thankful and grateful for that, because for so long I felt trapped. I felt like I was wasting that energy. I was just giving it away. And we know that energy is neither created nor destroyed. It's one of the laws. So imagine, it just changes form, right? So imagine if that energy in that form of sperm, right? If that energy is powerful enough, I got this from Sadhguru. If that energy is powerful enough to reproduce a human being, to combine with an egg and reproduce another person, if that energy that I was just wasting, I was just giving away frivolously, if it is powerful enough to create another person, then just imagine what you could do with that energy. If you actually had that energy inside you, instead of just freely just giving it away, imagine what you could do. Not just for yourself, but for the world. Imagine what you could create, what you could manifest, right, with that energy. If you transmuted that energy from that form to a form like this. So it's been months. It's been a long time since I've viewed any pornography, since I've done any, And I'm not saying that for a trophy or a medal or anything, or congrats or anything like that. I'm just voicing that to let you know that you can change. It's possible. It is possible. They may see your glory, but they do not know your story. So find ways, if you have things that in your life that you wish, weren't there, or you wish you could do other things that you're different, but you're pulled into that direction from your desires, know that you can transmute that energy into other things. You can transmute that energy into another project. You can transmute that energy and actually bring good into the world. Instead of going down that downward spiral in your mind and in your body and with your spirit. Because it was a downward spiral for me. There were times where I felt like I would never stop. Like, this is just my life. It's just what I'm destined to live, right? But no longer. No longer. So thank you for being here, my friend. Even if you were on the replay, I thank you for being here and sharing your love and your light with me as I just, empty this out here. And I pray that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and that you be well and be blessed. And just share below if you received anything from this, if it made you think about anything in your own life. If you have an encouraging word for another individual who may be going through the same thing in this community, definitely voice it below, share it below, because we'd love to hear it. This is a time right now of vulnerability. Get it out there. Get it out there. So I am of the school of thought that fear has no place on paper. You may feel a certain way, but if you voice it, if you get it out, if you write it down, fear has no place there. So share it with the world. Share it with the world. So show some love. If you resonated, share this with someone who needs to hear it. I don't mind. And just thank you. Thank you once again for being here. I will see you in the comments section, and we will see you again tomorrow for chapter 9 of the 30 Days of Awesomeness journey. All right. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be well, be blessed.